be careful when you use the word tweaking and Ukraine. Zelensky is, the
Tweaking.
leader, and we don't want to talk about his drug habit. So thank you.
Oh, oh,
That's
okay.
not a good thing. So we'll leave the tweaking to the tweakers, not us. Anyway, but to your point, I think the one of the things I've heard they're going to try to do, and that is the leader of Hungary, Orban, is to kind of let President Trump know that they're kind of lying to you, the Europeans, about what's going on, because they keep saying the Russian economy is about to falter. It's not. It could. You could do a couple of shoves to get it to go over the edge, but it's not there yet. And that somehow giving the Ukrainians the Tomahawks will be that decisive wonder weapon. To Pete's point, it's going to push them across the finish line. Just that one more thing, and those old Russians are going to be defeated. And one other thing I don't buy, and Pete, I'll throw this to you. I don't believe the Russians have suffered 1 million men in casualties. What do you say to that? Because that's what the Ukrainians keep saying. You're on mute.
As you know, Tony, I've spent a good deal of time wrestling with the
Yeah,
question of
exactly.
number of casualties, and it's a very difficult question to answer. Both countries are passing out very little data on themselves and a great deal of propaganda on the other side. There are a few statistical or data points that you can dig up, but the best numbers that I can come up with is just talking about killed, is that the number of killed in action, in the loosest sense, because that's another number that, what does it actually mean to be killed in action? Countries vary on their definition, but I would say Russian killed in action is somewhere between 175,000 and 225,000, which are tremendous numbers. I mean, people need to understand. The United States, from the end of World War II until today, 2025, the United States has suffered 105,000 killed in action. That's Korea plus Vietnam plus everything else.
Yeah.
Russia has suffered, as I said, somewhere around 175,000 to 225,000. How many has Ukraine suffered? The lowest number that I can come up with after going through, when I go through this painfully, looking at, amputation reports and other casualty reports, and drawing up relationships between wounded and killed, and number of graves, and a whole host of things. The lowest number I can come up with is that as of about last fall, about 10 months ago, there were 160,000 Ukrainian dead.
Yeah.
Where does that leave them today? Somewhere in the neighborhood of low 200,000. That's the low number. That's the low end number. What's the high end number? As I said, the Russian number is somewhere between 175 and 225. My guess, scientific wild ass guess, as they say, swag, is somewhere between 165 on the low side, and that's very low. I don't think it's that low. It could be as high as 300,000 dead. The farmland, they're not planting enough farmland. I mean, this is a destruction of a country, and in someplace in here, someplace we need to figure out a way to stop this war, because it is truly destroying Ukraine.
Yeah, I know. So to that point, and Van, I see your question there. It's not about Russia. Russia could lose 1 million people and not even break a sweat. And it's not to say there wouldn't be damaging. It's not fatal like what Pete's saying about Ukraine. Ukraine is literally on a death spiral. As a matter of fact, Ukraine's trying to work with the EU to try to kidnap their citizens to make them come back to populate their army.